if there's anything that gave me hope about next season, is that this season finale was actually better than last season's. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 4, Episode 23, Schism. And yeah, this episode was I actually enjoyed this season finale a lot more than last season's finale, which I felt was a little bit disappointing. And I'm going to tell you why I thought this episode was a lot better, and then I'm going to tell you why I thought of Season 4 overall. So let's get through this. First of all, we start off with this episode taking place where Damien Dark enters the loft where Felicity, her mom, and Curtis were, and Curtis gets very badly injured. Felicity, and her mom are almost killed, but thankfully Oliver comes to save the day as the Green Arrow, kicks some ass. There's a lot of really good action in this episode. I gotta say that first. Starting from this opening here. And even throughout the episode, we started getting a lot more hand-to-hand combats, which, I think has been really missing from this season a lot. I think maybe that's because of the fact that Damien Dark is a magic-based, supernatural-ish type villain. I'm glad we got rid of that a little bit and went back more to hand-to-hand combat, because I felt that was actually, maybe, thinking about it more, maybe that's what was missing throughout this entire season. I actually did really enjoy that Oliver, as Oliver Queen, not as Green Arrow, stood up and tried to help the city pick itself back up together. He was the one that gave that little speech on the taxi cab. He just jumped on a taxi cab and yelled out to everybody, gave them hope, and that is what led him at the end to being mayor. I thought that was really cool and nicely done. And Stephen Amell is a great actor. Out of all these CW shows, I think, even if whatever you think of Arrow at this point, I think Stephen Amell is the strongest actor by far on all the CW shows, and it shows. This scene here where he's giving hope was really strong and well done, and acted by him beautifully. We also have all these characters going through the moments. A lot of them are having doubts about themselves. Thea, held Damien Dark's daughter hostage and threatened to kill her, and she's feeling bad about that, so she decides to leave the Team Arrow by the end of the episode. Even Diggle is having doubts because he killed Andy, which I'm happy about, but apparently he's not very happy about, because looking at it on his perspective, it is his brother, and so by the end he even leaves Team Arrow. Almost everybody on Team Arrow leaves. The last two standing are Felicity and Oliver, and maybe Curtis. I think Curtis will be part of Team Arrow next season. I think Oliver and Felicity are going to bring him into the team as a full-time member, and I think when season 5 starts, that's where we're going to see. We're going to see Felicity, we're going to see Curtis, and we're going to see Oliver. That's going to be the new Team Arrow, I think. I think Diggle will eventually come back. Maybe not. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping Diggle will come back. I wanted that original Team Arrow. Maybe. I don't know. Part of me wanted Felicity to leave also. I'm not a hater on Felicity like a lot of people seem to be turning into lately. I know I've seen a lot of Felicity hate in the past couple of... this season specifically. It started at the end of Season 3, and I noticed Season 4, the hate's been rising, especially since Laurel's been killed off, which a lot of people think that the writers have now become Olicity fans themselves, that they killed off the true romance that should have been Laurel and Oliver. But you know what, guys, I feel they handled Laurel's death pretty well. And Laurel's death still came up in this episode. And Oliver killed again for Laurel and for all the tens of thousands of people that Damien Dark killed. So I thought his reason for killing Dark actually made a lot of sense, where, you know, he let Slade live. He didn't let Ra's al Ghul live, but I guess Ra's al Ghul was a more complicated situation. But I actually thought the reason for killing Dark made a lot of sense. One nitpick I'm going to have to point out is Malcolm Merlyn. He, throughout the season, he's been flip-flopping back and forth. And I love how he's just part of Team Arrow in this episode. When just 2 episodes ago or so, or even the last episode, he was part of Damien Dark's team organization. And it seems like Oliver's cool with that. It's okay, Malcolm, I forgive you. I get it. It's probably because it has to do with something being Malcolm is Thea's father, biological father, so maybe that's why Oliver's like keeping him alive and on the team and being fine with it. But even Thea wasn't fine with it, so it's like Malcolm should actually be a villain by this point. He should be the season 5 villain again. I thought that would round up season 5 pretty well, bring season 1 through 5 full circle, have Malcolm as the first season villain, and then slowly have him back as the season 5 villain, because apparently the original plan for Arrow was to do it as a 5 season thing, right? But maybe because, I don't know, we'll have to see what goes on in season 5 and what Malcolm's role will be, because obviously Thea is going to try to maybe rekindle things with her father. We're going to have to see, because they ended off on good terms, I guess, because they were teaming up with Malcolm the entire time. One more thing that I have to nitpick on is we don't even know what happened to Damien Dark's daughter. Like, literally, Green Arrow, Oliver, just comes into the cave where Damien Dark was hiding with his daughter, and this fight happens, this huge fight happens, which the fight was awesome, but they never touch back on the daughter again and what happened to her. And like, her father was just killed. And no reaction from the daughter. Here's my theory. Maybe she'll become the villain in season 10. She's going to cook up all this rage because Green Arrow killed her father. And then in season 10 she returns, if they make it to season 10. Season 10 she returns, and that's it. That's the new villain for season 10. I'm going to predict that. I mean, she was an innocent kid. Of course, you kill her father, she's going to want revenge on Green Arrow. I don't know. We're going to have to... I have a feeling they'll never really touch on that. They'll just let it... No, don't worry about her. She'll get over it. But no kid gets over the death of their parents. Now she's an orphan. Poor kid, man. So with that being said, guys, this was a really good episode. Other than those 2 little nitpicks with Malcolm and Damien Dark's daughter, I think this was a solid episode, really solid episode finale. Much better than season 3's finale with Ra's al Ghul. I thought that one was a little bit more disappointing. This one definitely a step up and gives me a little bit of more hope of what's to come for season 5. I'm hoping season 5 continues with some really strong episodes, and I'm hoping that they'll go back to a more grounded take, which brings me to now what I thought of season 4 overall. I thought season 4 was definitely better than season 3. Now, season 3, the first half of season 3, started out really strong, and I feel the same way with this one. And just like season 3, I feel season 4 kind of dipped down a bit in quality in the second half of the season. I thought the first half was really strong, and then the second half started to do the same thing season 3 did. Although I still think there were a lot more stronger episodes in season 4's second half than season 3 had. Where season 3 to me started getting a little bit more boring. Season 4 had some not so great episodes on the second half, but it also had some really good episodes. When it did hit, it hit right, and that's what I really thought season 4 was doing right. I think there was a little bit more improvement. The flashbacks were more or less the same. Some of the flashback episodes didn't go really anywhere. But for the most part, when the flashbacks did hit, like even in the finale here, I felt that they were okay. They were pretty good flashbacks. I think I liked it more now that Oliver's on the island. I don't know what they're planning on doing next season. I don't know what Oliver meant by that, where he said he made a promise So what was that promise? I don't remember right now because I don't know, maybe I dozed off on one flashback that I don't remember him making the promise. But I'm hoping next season will still stick to the island stuff. Season 5 is supposed to be the last year on the island, so I'm very curious on what they're going to do on the island next season. And he's supposed to have a long beard, if especially if it's supposed to sync up to how the pilot episode of Arrow's flashbacks started. That very first shot of Oliver on the island when he got rescued, he's supposed to have a long ass beard and long ass hair. He has a lot of growing hair to do, that's for sure. I'm also hoping that, even though this isn't really an Arrow thing right now, on The Flash, if you've seen one of the last couple of episodes of The Flash, the one that guest starred Katie Cassidy as the Black Siren, Laurel from Earth 2, I'm hoping that will come into play in Season 5 of Arrow, because you can't just have a Laurel from Earth 2 in your prison and hide it from Team Arrow. Team Arrow, I think, will eventually find out. Now, the question is, when will Team Arrow find out that Team Flash has a Laurel from Earth 2 locked in their prison? That's going to have ramifications, I think. I think not good ramifications, bad ramifications. I think that's going to put maybe we'll have a civil war with Team Arrow and Team Flash next year, and we're going to have the Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow taking sides on who was right and who was wrong. I mean, that could be a big possibility on that huge crossover that they're planning next year. And I'd be very intrigued, and it's all because Team Flash had an Earth 2 Laurel in their captivity. It's going to be interesting when Oliver and Team Arrow find out, that's for sure. Who knows, maybe Detective Lance and Sarah can find out on their own, and maybe they'll maybe it'll be a little crossover with just them. Maybe Sarah's like traveling through time. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but I'm hoping that will have something to do with the crossover next season for all the shows. So with that being said, guys, I'm ending it here. What did you think of Season 4 of Arrow? Did it live up to the hype? What did you think of the finale? Was it good? Was it a step up from Season 3? Do you want to see the Laurel from Earth 2 cross over to Arrow somehow? Maybe that could be the linchpin, like I said, to the crossover next season. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to a really good Season 5. I want to see big improvements. If it's anything like this finale or some of the better episodes in this season, I'm hoping for the best. I want Arrow to be great. I want all 4 of these DC shows on the CW to be awesome. And with that being said, guys, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, check out my podcast, like this video, and subscribe to my channel because, of course, I'll be doing Arrow and The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, more episode reviews next year because I love doing this. It's fun. It's a nice pastime for me. And with that being said, take care.